Sanjay Garcia Saturn in action. Well, hello One Piece enthusiasts, I'm the One Piece nerd, and today let's talk about One Piece chapter 1094. The tables have turned, the Marines are now the ones with the upper hand, and we are in big trouble. Well, we left off where we started where we left off last chapter with Bonnie trying to survive, and of course, Sentomaru helping her. And now this chapter we have Vegapunk going after Bonnie to trying to save her. Well, a lot of things to talk about, specifically the situation of the Straw Hats and how things might change and the prospects of Egghead Island. Before we move on, make sure to like and subscribe, it helps the channel out a lot. Now that you have, let's begin. Well, what do I have to say about this entire thing? This reminds me of SABAODY again. As like other YouTubers and other people that are reading the manga at this point, we all feel as though, we're back to SABAODY. We're back to SABAODY where the Straw Hats are in trouble. It started off very whimsical, as usual, with no serious business, but it started to escalate, and in fact, I believe that there is a lot more to escalate than what we know right now. Where do we start? We start with Luffy, of course. Luffy, as mentioned before with Gear 5, even though he has tremendous power, even though he has ridiculous power that can literally counter anything, he can go up against anyone right now. The problem is, he runs out of stamina. That is the one weakness, one fatal flaw of Gear 5. And well, most of other forms of Luffy, by the way. Specifically Gear 4 as well. So, we see this continuous problem of Luffy trying to get his stamina back. When he once loses it, he does gain that initial bit of power that can literally overwhelm most opponents. And in fact, in this case, it's sort of the same deal. If Luffy had unlimited stamina and Kizaru had unlimited stamina, Luffy would win. Outright, Luffy would win in Gear 5. Because that's the kind of devil fruit it is. It is the most ridiculous power in the world. It can do literally anything. Luffy can, being the battle genius he is, can come up with any sort of maneuver or tactic that can help him win against his opponent. But the one thing that stamina is the one thing that slows him down every single time. And this is also the same case, and I'd like to believe that this is a kind of issue that Luffy will have to run into until the end of the series, because if that doesn't happen, Luffy is basically invincible. Luffy will always be overpowering his opponent, but only for a short amount of time, because he runs out of stamina, and I think this is his ultimate test for him to get better at Gear 5. The same thing happened with Gear 4. He needed some sort of an out when he fought against Katakuri, against Doflamingo, trying to take help from the people around him or the circumstances around him to regain back his strength, and then go back for round 2 or round 3 or round 4. And this is the same thing happening right now. In this case, however, none of the opponents, either Kizaru or Saturn, would be willing to give Luffy that amount of time that Kaido gave him. And in this case, we are still surrounded by allies, but considering the strength of the Straw Hats, and we have a Gorosei on loose, who has a mythical zone, by the way, insane transformation, insane power, and I like to believe that, this guy is pretty damn strong. Remember, you guys probably are wondering that, okay, this guy probably might not be that strong because we have the Holy Knights to deal with, and he's just one person, what can he do? He can do a lot. Considering that Eam and the rest of the 5 Elders took a direct hit from Sabo's Fire Fist, or I think it was Fire Checkmate or whatever, Flame Checkmate or whatever. They took a direct hit from that and nothing happened to them. And they're mythical zones, by the way. I do not underestimate them. People that said the Gorosei can't fight were wrong. Now, people that will say, we're going to underestimate the Gorosei because they're weak, because they only sit in a room and talk about politics. No, you guys are wrong. You guys are absolutely wrong, and dude, learn your lesson. So, with the Straw Hats, Zoro is taking down Lucci. Of course, Zoro would have a little bit of difficulty taking down Lucci, but I suspect that, it's going to be a very hard fight. As for the rest of them, though, I really don't expect all of them to take care of Saturn. Bonnie got a hit in. I agree, Bonnie got a hit in, but dude, it's Saturn. This is just a filthy stab. Nothing's gonna happen to him. It's a mythical zone. It can literally heal anytime he wants to. So, the stakes have turned very badly. I'd like to believe the Straw Hats are in very big trouble, specifically with Vegapunk out of the lava sphere. Now that Vegapunk is basically moving out in the open, which he had to, he had a choice. He had a choice to leave things to the Straw Hats or to Bonnie herself, but he decided to go and rescue her anyways because, of course, he wants to. He's Vegapunk. Now that Vegapunk's under open fire, the Straw Hats basically have the responsibility to protect him, and it's going to get pretty bad. And like Sanji, Frankie, who's there? Who else is there? Sanji, Frankie, Jinbei, whatever. Yeah, okay, yeah, they might be able to stall Saturn for a while, but dude, it's Saturn. I like to believe that he's a Yonko level, if not more, and I doubt the entirety of the Straw Hat would be willing to take him on, or could take him on. Even if Saturn was the only one alive, maybe only one there, I could have been like, okay, the Straw Hats could take him down, and then we could do something about it. Luffy gaining his strength back, fighting against him again. We have Kizaru, for God's sake. We have Kizaru to take care of, and that's a bigger mess. Like, not a bigger mess, but as equal of a mess as it is. So the tables have literally turned. The one good thing out of the chapter for the Straw Hats, though, is the fact that Luffy has basically punched Kizaru, and I think Kizaru is very, very hurt. He doesn't show it because that's not the kind of guy he is, but he is definitely hurt. It was a direct hit to the head. Luffy with his Gum Gum powers probably used Haki, of course, and Kizaru was hit. First time ever in the series that Kizaru was hit, and of course I think that is very effective. Not enough to put him down, definitely. Another thing going on for the Vegapunks and the allies is basically the Iron Giant, or the giant that has been sitting there for 300 or 200 years. That thing might come into action, but I am significantly doubting the strength of that thing. If it is, in fact, from the Void Century, and if it was made by the technology of when Joy Boy was here, okay, maybe this is something to think about. Maybe they stand a chance against every single one of the opponents that they have. But I have a feeling that the Giant will be responsible more for taking down the Pacifistas rather than Sanjay Garcia or in fact Kizaru. So also, yeah, you got the Seraphims to take care of. It's not the Seraphims, but the Pacifistas to take care of. Although we have the Seraphims on our side, sort of, but not really. We don't really know how that's working. And this is about to get very dirty. And if you guys don't remember, the Blackbeard Pirates are still on Egghead Island. They're on their way, if they're not there yet. And it's going to get a whole lot worse. Things have taken turn for the worse. The Straw Hats are in very, very big trouble. I don't see a way out of this unless Luffy recovers in 5 seconds the way he recovered with Kaido and then gets back up again and does it again. Really doubt that's gonna happen. But some drastic things need to happen in order for the Straw Hats to get an upper hand in this fight. That's it for the video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. Have a great day, and peace.